Welcome to,
Are you alright?
well,
Lee, do I need to reboot you?
welcome to The Problematic Gaze with me, Dr. Lee Arnott.
And me, Dave Moore.
You okay, Dave?
I'm fine. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. What's up?
You just went on a loop and started repeating yourself over and over again.
Don't be ridiculous. Of course I didn't.
Very strange.
Very weird. Anyway, funny how weird. Welcome to The Problematic Gaze. I'm Dr. Lee Arnott.
We've just done that bit.
Have we?
Yeah, weirdo. And I'm Dave Moore.
Each episode, we take a piece of pop culture from the last 60 years and examine it through the problematic lens, asking ourselves the question, could you get away with it today? And if not, why not? And what that says about society and culture then and now.
And before we take a deep dive into our chosen topic, we'll look at the news events of the year, and we'll also look at the TV and film landscape and the pop charts, just to put our chosen topic into context. Now, Lee, are you sure you're okay?
I'm fine. I don't know what your problem is, Dave.
Okay,
honestly.
So what we're talking about this week?
This week, we are talking about the Stepford Wives.
Oh.
Yes, released in the UK on April the 17th, 1975. What's your relationship to the Stepford Wives?
I've seen it about a year ago. I think on your recommendation, actually.
Right.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes.
Lots to discuss, lots to debate.
Yes. Yeah.
How about you?
Yes, I've seen it many times. Love it. Can't remember the first time I did actually see it, but Stepford Wives has become something of a... It's in language now. If you say, she's a real Stepford wife, people know exactly what you mean, don't you see? I was probably aware of it before I saw it, yeah, but I've seen it many times and I love it.
It's fabulous, isn't it?
Yeah.
If not just for the frocks.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
We'll
absolutely.
talk about
Okay,
that.
so before we go any further,
Yes.
what's been problematic in you this week?
Do you really want to know?
Yeah, go on.
I won't mind disclosing this to viewers and listeners, but I'm a man of a certain age, 24.
Yeah.
And I'm debating whether I'll have to start wearing a tenner lady for bed. Honestly, the amount of times I have to get up for a pee, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Sometimes 3 every hour. Three. I'm glitching again. Can you switch me off and switch me back on, please? Sometimes like every hour for three times in a go.
Okay. Do you need to get yourself checked out?
I've been checked out and I'm fine. It's just an age.
This might lead to my problem of the week.
Yeah.
Because we did go to the pub last night, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We did have a few little cheeky vinos. Well,
Yeah, we
you had
did.
the vino and I had 2.5 pints of beer I had.
Yes.
Woke up this morning feeling like a bag of shite. I mean,
Right.
gone were the days. We've talked about this before. When you're alive, your young body could just snap back 2.5 pints. But also, actually, I asked you to fix me a little nightcap.
Yes, you did.
Now, I said a double whiskey
Yes.
with some ginger ale, which is my favourite little tipple in the evening. And you brought one back. Honestly, it took the roof of my mouth off. It was that strong. And I thought, if that's what you class as a light tipple, no wonder you're bloody up and down like yo-yo in the middle of the night.
I did 2 fingers. 2 fingers of whiskey.
2 fingers of whiskey isn't the same as a double whiskey.
Isn't it?
No.
I thought a finger was a shot.
Well, what's a finger amongst friends, eh? One man's double finger is another man's...
Waving a woodbine in the Albert Hall.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we've still got the Albert Hall pencil for January, remember?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, so if you can spread the word, dear gazers,
yeah,
because we need the
please
numbers.
do, because we've put a deposit down of...
Yeah,
How much was it? £30,000?
£250,000.
Okay. Yeah, we need... Could you get the numbers, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a joke, by the way. We haven't put any down yet.
Of all Albert Hall in Hitchin, which is capacity 50. So, the Stepford Wives,
Yup.
1975.
Yes.
Before we carry on, should we cross... I see you getting the Trevor McDonald ready. Should we cross over to the news desk?
Let's do it.
Let's
just
go.
lean in and out.
Lean in
I'll
and
go
out.
down here.
I'll go
Okay.
this way. I haven't leaned...
Footsteps. Walking over to the news
Yes.
desk.
Oh,
That's better.
okay. Bit of a year, 1975 in the UK, actually.
Yup.
Little grim story to open with. On the 14th of January, 17-year-old heiress Leslie Whittle, who is the daughter of the late bus operator George Whittle, is kidnapped from her Shropshire home by Donald Nielsen. He's a notorious burglar and murderer known as the Black Panther, who was terrorising the UK at this point. She was driven 65 miles from her home to an underground drainage shaft of a reservoir where she was tethered naked upon a narrow platform 54 feet below ground by a wire noose affixed round her neck and with a hood placed over her head. While this is going on, he's trying to blackmail the family with a £50,000 ransom. And eventually her emaciated body is discovered hanging from the shaft 3 months later. 2 months later. Isn't that horrible?
That's a nice, pleasant story.
I know. Welcome to 1975, everybody. Gripped the country. Country was gripped by this. It's like something out of Dexter or Silence of the Lambs, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, God, the poor girl. 17.
Oh, no, that's not a nice story at all. Okay,
No.
in lighter news, on the 13th of February, Britain's coal miners accept a 35% pay rise offer from the government.
Yes, this is part of this cycle of, at this point in time, the coal miners are given what they want. And 35% is way above inflation and is way above everybody else getting. So the 70s are renowned for this cycle of inflation, boom, bust cycle going on and on and on. This is just an example of a government holding sway and how much power the miners had at this point and still continue to had until 1979, until Thatcher comes in and kicks their asses
We
in
watched
the
a
80s.
really good documentary on them. Not just Thatcher, primarily, but what was it called?
Shifty
by Adam Curtis.
Adam Curtis. It's what I play. It's very good.
Really good, actually.
Yes.
Really good footage from the 70s and 80s, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
really good.
Yeah, really good.
On the 14th of February, author and humorist P.G. Wodehouse dies of heart failure, aged 91, in New York, 1 month after being awarded a knighthood.
Got that in just in time.
Just in time.
Yeah, good old age, that 91.
Yeah, really.
P.G. Wodehouse, was that Jeeves and Worcester and all that malarkey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good, very good. Okay, so on 27th of May, bringing the mood down slightly again, Dibble's Bridge coach crash. Try saying that when you've had 2.5 pints. A tour coach runs away following brake failure and falls off a bridge near Hebden, North Yorkshire, en route to Grassington, killing the driver and 31 female pensioners on board. The highest ever toll in a UK road accident.
All those women on a day out. I mean, it's awful. You can actually look at the pictures on Google. You think he skids and tries to brake, something happens, some failure, and it just basically topples into this guy's garden and it's sandwiched. The bus is just like concertinaed. Awful.
I think they'd have the sandwiches before it happened.
I hope they had.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're anything like me, they'd be straight at the back of the bus, open their packed lunch before we've even left the bloody bus stop. So, and then be hungry for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I'm still scarred by Flamingo Land as a school trip. On the 15th of August, not to make light of that because that is a really horrible story. On the 15th of August, the Birmingham Six are wrongfully sentenced to life imprisonment. They won't be released until 1991. The 6 men from Northern Ireland were each sentenced to life imprisonment following their false convictions for the 1974 Birmingham pub bombings. We're going to see this quite a lot at this time, people being falsely accused of terrible things.
Needing to find someone to blame for this terrible atrocity.
Yes.
Okay, on the 28th of September to the 3rd of October, the Spaghetti House siege, in which 9 people are taken as hostages by armed robbers, takes place in London. An attempted robbery of the Spaghetti House restaurant in Knightsbridge went wrong and police were quickly called to the scene. 3 robbers took the staff down into a storeroom and barricaded themselves in. They released all the hostages unarmed after 6 days.
Gosh, do you think any of them ever ate pasta again?
A lot of spaghetti in those 6 days.
Yeah.
God, it was all kicking off, wasn't it,
Kicking
this
off,
year?
yeah. And on the 27th of November, Ross McWhirter, twin brother of Norris McWhirter, and together they founded the Guinness Book of Records. Age 50, is shot dead outside his London home by the Provisional IRA for offering reward money for informers. I mean, there's a lot of IRA and Northern Ireland stuff going on this year.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, this is 70s is the worst time of it, so...
Were they Irish then, Ross?
I don't think so, no. But, they were targeting people on the mainland, so...
A huge figure in many a childhood, Norris McWhirter, wasn't he?
Yes, absolutely.
He was with, what was his name? Roy Castle.
Roy Castle.
On Record Breakers.
Yeah, Record Breakers.
Yeah.
Dedication's what you need.
Charles Baker.
Later on. Yeah, later vintage.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we'll go on to Eggs and Baker.
Yeah,
Gets her own show.
And Charles Baker in the documentary we watched last night, because who knew Bucks Fizz's #1 hit, The Land of Make Believe, was a critique of Thatcher's Britain?
I know!
Who knew?
Who knew?
I thought it was about Superman.
Yeah, me too.
There you go, fact fans. Always learn something on the problematic gaze.
Never stop learning.
No.
Never stop learning. Never trust anybody who says they know everything.
No.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a bit of a grim year.
The Stepford Wives was released in 1975. So shall we have a look at the other top-grossing movies?
Let's do it.
The top-grossing movies in the UK from 1975.
At number 10, Tommy.
Not seen it.
I've not seen it either. Rock opera by The Who.
Yes.
Not seen it.
No,
Can't
I
comment.
haven't either. Okay, number 9, one of my favourites, if not my favourite film of all time, Jaws.
Yeah.
Celebrating its 40th anniversary.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
50th.
Gosh.
God, if that was true, I'd only be 42.
Yeah.
Let's go 40th.
The first summer blockbuster.
One of my earliest memories is going to my grounds for Sunday lunch. It wouldn't be impolite to say my gran could talk a glass eye to sleep, okay? And my mum used to call her Jaws because she never stopped talking. And so what does 3-year-old, 4-year-old myself do at the dinner table? I went, Grandma, my mum calls you Jaws because she says you never shut up. My mum went, shut up, I do not. Panicked, got a sweaty top lip on. I can't remember what happened afterwards. I just remember this deathly silence fell across the table. Sorry, Grandma.
Out of the mouth of babes.
Out of the mouth of babes, you know.
Yeah, just goes to show all you little kiddie winkles running around.
They're like
Don't
Alexa.
say anything you don't want them to repeat.
Yeah, they're like Alexa kids.
Yeah.
They soak it up and then they'll spew it back out when you least expect it. Yeah.
Oh, it's your go.
Oh, yes, it's my go. At number 8, James Bond, The Man with the Golden Gun.
I
And
watched that the other night.
Did you?
It was on late at night. I dipped into it. That's
Yeah.
with Scaramanga, wasn't
Yes,
it?
him with the 3 nipples. Yeah.
And I've got a little mole there, which is like a third nipple. It's not like a proper nipple like they put on Roger Moore when he was pretending to be Scaramanga. It's just like a full-on nipple.
Oh.
It's a little mole.
Right.
It didn't stop my sister and my brother teasing me mercilessly,
About your
calling me
ex-nipple.
triple nipple.
That's all right. I've got teats. 6 of them going down here. Yeah.
Okay, on that bombshell, number 7, The French Connection 2. Didn't know there was a sequel.
I didn't know either. First one's great.
Yes.
I have to watch the second one. Didn't know at all. Number 6, Escape to Witch Mountain, one of the Disney live action films. Can't remember anything about it, to be honest. I think it goes a bit alien towards the end, unless that's The Watcher in the Woods. Fact-checking department.
Fact-checking department. Number 5, Shampoo. That's with
that?
Goldie Hawn, Warren Beatty.
Is it?
Yes.
Not seen
Good
it.
at the time. I think Oscar nominated, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it about a hairdresser?
I think so. It's like a Lothario hairdresser.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Number 4, Death Wish.
I can vaguely remember watching it, but it hasn't imprinted itself on my
No.
nostalgic memory.
Charles Bronson,
Yeah.
his real-life wife, Jill Ireland, playing his wife in the film, gets killed, and then he goes on a revenge mission, I suppose.
Right. Okay, number 3, Rollerball.
Is that a future sci-fi kind of a sport, rollerball? When they're
That's
in...
The Running Man.
No, I'm
Is
saying
it?
Oh, God.
Oh, shit. Sorry. I mean, we are number 1 in the TV and film history charts.
Really covering ourselves with glory with this one, aren't we?
I can see our stock plummeting after this.
Yeah, really.
Rollerball, fantastic film.
Fantastic
Do
film.
watch.
Amazing. Number 2, Funny Lady, which I'm guessing is a sequel to Funny Girl. Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
Babs.
Okay, as a
gay.
fully blown, paid up member of the homosexual community, where do you stand on Barbara Streisand? Where do you stand on Barbara Streisand? You're going to burp?
No, I'm trying to be really careful about what I say.
Oh.
I quite like Babs. I quite like some of her songs, but I find a lot of her songs a little bit
Boring.
dreary. And I think she can oversing. I'm being cast down from the gaze.
Well,
I can feel it.
I don't like Barbara Streisand. Look, I mean, I don't hate her.
Yes.
I mean, it's just not my type of music at all. And I don't even think I could name a Barbara Streisand song. Maybe Evergreen.
Evergreen.
That was it.
Obviously, Enough is Enough is a classic.
Oh,
Donna
yeah,
Summer.
fair enough. That's got Donna Summer
Got
in it as
Summer,
well.
hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I once went out. Well,
Barbara Streisand.
I once went out with Barbara Streisand, yeah. I kind of started to see this guy, knocking around and everything a long, long time ago. And went to this house party and he was there and I walked in and he was in the middle of the room belting out a Barbara Streisand number.
And you knew it was all over.
I could have just turned out on my heel and walked out. It was an immediate,
That's
okay,
a killer.
that's not going anywhere anytime soon. If he'd been singing Madonna, then I would have been fine.
Oh, you'd been all over it.
Oh, my
You just
God.
got there and joined in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing how Barbara Streisand can
Polarise. Yes. I think she's a good director.
Yes,
She's a
very good
actor.
director, very good actor.
She's fantastic in A Star Is Born. Mm-hmm. And I like the soundtrack to A Star Is Born, actually, her one. Yeah, I mean, I'm ambivalent towards
Yes.
Babs. However, I'm not ambivalent to the top movie of the year, which is a classic, The Towering Inferno.
It's a proper classic.
Proper classic. What we all love to see: rich people under duress, getting thrown off buildings.
Yes.
You know, Faye Dunaway, Richard Chamberlain, the
Steve
bastard,
McQueen.
Steve McQueen, Paul
Yes.
Newman. All of it.
Yes.
On fire, up high.
Proper blockbuster that was.
And that is the top grossing movie by some considerable margin, it must be said. Like, that's grossed 7.1 million compared to Funny Lady, which was second, which was 2.3 million. So it was hugely popular.
Yeah.
Of course, 1975 is the peak of disaster films. And I love a disaster film from the 70s.
What's your favourite?
It's a toss-up between Towering Inferno, Poseidon Adventure,
Yes.
Earthquake, City on Fire. One of the lesser known ones.
Right.
Even things like The Swarm is shit, but it's great, you know.
Towering Inferno is my favourite.
Is
just
it?
because of it's got Fallon from Dynasty in it.
No, that's Poseidon Adventure.
What did I say?
Towering Inferno.
I meant Poseidon Adventure.
Yeah.
I'm glitching.
Oh my God, what's happened to you? So this is the movie landscape the Stepford Wives is released into. Should we have a look at the singles charts? And this is the top 20 for the 13th of April, 1975.
Okay.
Scroll past number one.
I'm confident.
Not confident, not very confident. I think there might be some big hitters, but I'm fairly sure we're going to go, no. Ultravox, Ultravox, Ultravox. This means nothing to me.
Okay, number 20. Reach Out, I'll Be There, Gloria Gaynor.
Obviously, that's the song we know, I guess. And we all know Gloria, don't we?
Yeah.
Number 19, What Am I Going to Do With You? Barry White.
What is he going to do with you?
I don't know. Wouldn't like to think.
Oh, hopefully not sit on you.
Never get back out.
Slaves. Suffocated. And then cheeks. Then 2.5 pints working their way through my system.
Still there.
Okay, 18. Ding a Dong. Teach in.
With the title Ding a Dong, can you guess where that's from? It's
Australia.
April, Eurovision.
Oh, Eurovision.
It's the Eurovision winner that year.
I thought you meant Ding a Dong as in Billabong.
Yes, I see what you. I know.
Yeah.
I could see the cogs turning there. I could absolutely see.
Don't tax me with questions like that.
It's the Eurovision winner that year. Ding, ding a dong. Classic Eurovision. Yeah.
Ding, dang,
If you're
dong.
feeling lonely, everything is lonely. Go
Copyright
ding, dang,
department.
dong. Yeah, oh God,
Clearance.
number 17 is the Elton John Band with Philadelphia Freedom.
Oh,
Nothing.
didn't know I had a band.
Flatlined. Not a clue.
Blind.
Not a clue.
Okay, teetering on something here.
I knew it.
Number 16, The Tears I Cried by the Glitter Band.
Of which the
Is
lead
that-
singer is.
Oh, okay, fine. Let's just gloss over that.
Number 15, Let Me Be the One, The Shadows.
14, Life is a Minestrone by 10cc.
Is it though?
Let's see how that did in the charts. It peaked at number 14.
Number 13, Skiing in the Snow, which is clearly where you want to be skiing,
Yeah.
by Wiggins Ovation. Well, it's just like words. It's meaningless words put
Yeah.
together, isn't
Do you
it?
think they're from Wigan?
Possibly.
Okay, number
Not
12.
much skiing in Wigan, I suspect. No.
Imagine. Is it hilly?
Who can say? Anybody from Wigan? Let us know.
Let us know. Is it hilly and you get snows?
Yes.
And when it snows on the hills, can you ski down them? That's
Yes,
what we need to
That's
know.
what we need to know.
Okay, so number 12, I Can Do It, Rubettes. I'll be the judge of that.
Well, but number 11, oh, Dave, play me like you play your guitar. By Dwayne Eddy.
Strum you
Gently strumming in the corner.
or plucking. Number 10, The Ugly Duckling, Mike Creed. Oh, lovely Mike Creed, by all accounts, really nice guy.
Yes.
Yes.
Started off his career as an extra in Doctor Who.
Did he?
Yeah, him and Kat Slater's dad as well. On the same
yes,
Doctor Who
Derek Martin.
stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 9 is Honey by Bobby Goldsborough.
8, Fancy Pants. That's what I call
Get
you.
you.
Like,
Kenny.
what happened to Kenny?
I don't know. But number 7 is Girls by Woman and Whatnot. I like that song.
Oh,
Girls, I like them fat, I like them tall, some skinny, some small. I mean, it sounds like I'm singing it genuinely with that sentiment is
yes.
real, isn't it?
Yeah. Copyright department.
Yeah, God.
Okay, number 5, The Funky Gibbon, Sick Man Blues. Oh, I've
You've missed out number 6.
I've skipped.
Skip. What is happening to us today?
Okay, number 5. Is that right?
Number
No,
6. For God's sake.
I'm like Nanette Newman. Number 6. There's a whole lot of loving, Guys and Dolls. Was that really worth going back to?
Honestly, I don't think it was.
No.
Number 5, The Funky Gibbon by The Goodies.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The Goodies. Controversially, I didn't really like The Goodies.
I really enjoyed them, but I think it's because I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I think the sight of like that kitten climbing up the post office tower and stuff when you're like 4 years old was fantastic.
Yeah. Bill Oddie.
Yes.
Queen Twitcher.
Queen
Birder.
Twitcher, yeah.
Queen Birder.
Yeah.
I saw him looking through his binoculars on Hampstead Heath once. At birds, not insinuating anything else. And I was walking the dog on Hampstead Heath as well. I wasn't doing anything else either.
The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
Okay, number 4. Swing Your Daddy. Something we've all said before in the past. I thought that said Jim Jockstrap.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah. Jim Gilstrap.
Doesn't mean anything. Number 3, which we've both said, Love Me, Love My Dog.
Yes.
By Peter Shelley.
Yes, we love dogs on this podcast.
We do.
We don't trust people who don't like dogs, do we?
Or animals in general.
Yes. Okay, number 2, Fox on the Run, The Sweet. I mean,
As predicted.
come on, 1975.
Let's see what number 1 is.
Yeah.
So we have Okay. Bay City Rollers, the Tartan Army with Bye Bye Baby Bye. Copyright Department.
Right department. That kind of was a saving grace there, wasn't it? Bay City Rollers, obviously, in their peak era.
Yes.
They kind of came and went pretty quick, didn't they, Bay
I
City
think they had a
Rollers?
couple of years of it. Good couple of years of it. But yeah, burned bright
Burned bright.
and shiny for a short time.
Like the Sex Pistols.
Yes, like pretty much any group, really. Spice Girls.
Charlotte Hammer.
Pull that reference.
I don't know where I've got Charlotte Hammer from.
We love
Charlotte
Charlotte.
Hammer, if you're listening, come on the pod.
Come on the pod.
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod. Okay, so to the matter in hand, would you like to give us a bit of information about the Stepford Wives, Dave?
I will. So The Stepford Wives is a 1975 American satirical psychological film thriller directed by Brian Forbes. It was written by William Goldman, who based his screenplay on Ira Levin's 1972 novel of the same name, and he also wrote Rosemary's Baby, just for a bit of context. The film stars Catherine Ross, Paula Prentice, Pete Masterson, Nanette Newman, Tina Louise, Patrick O'Neill. It was filmed in Connecticut in 1974 and it was released theatrically in February 75. It grossed $4 million at the US box office, though it received mixed reviews from critics. The Stepford Wives, however, has grown in stature as a cult film over the years, and the term Stepford or Stepford Wives has become a popular science fiction concept. Several sequels were made, as well as a remake in 2004 that used the same name.
Which is an abomination.
Starring Nicole Kidman.
Yes. And to make it into a comedy for some reason. Don't watch it, kids. Watch this one. This is on YouTube, which is amazing.
We'll post the link.
Yeah, it's great. I'll tell you what happens in the film.
Yeah.
So we meet Joanna Eberhardt, Catherine Ross, who is a young photographer who moves with her husband and children from New York City to the seemingly idyllic suburban town of Stepford, Connecticut. At first, Joanna is struck by how eerily perfect the other wives are, obsessively devoted to housework, submissive to their husbands, and devoid of any independent ambition, alongside her spirited new friend, Bobby.
Oh. Love Bobby.
Joanna begins to suspect something sinister is behind the women's robotic behaviour and the all-male Stepford Men's Association. As Joanna digs deeper, she uncovers a chilling conspiracy. The husbands, many of them scientists and engineers, are systematically replacing their wives with lifelike, compliant android replicas. But Joanna is powerless against a system which literally erases female autonomy in favour of male control and fantasy. This film breaks my heart every time. Every single time. Do you remember the first time I watched it? Spoiler alert. I thought she was going to win at the end. You think she's going to escape, take the kids and be fine? She doesn't. She doesn't.
She gets turned into a robot at the end.
It's
Sorry
tragic.
for spoilers, but it's still worth a watch.
It's tragic. Now, this film often gets bracketed as a kind of feminist horror film. At the time, some feminists said it was basically riding on the back of feminism, while others thought it was a great allegory of feminism.
Yeah,
I thought it'd be
very
quite
split, wasn't it?
Yes, and I thought it'd be quite just take 2 minutes just to discuss where feminism is at this point.
Yeah.
This is part of the second wave feminism movement. First wave is the 19th and early 20th centuries, the suffragette movement, property rights for women, access to education and employment, whereas second wave feminism begins in the early 60s and goes through to the 1980s and is more focused on things like reproductive rights for women, workplace equality, equal pay, sexual liberation, challenging gender roles, looking at domestic violence and marital rape, still legal at this point, and legal reforms like Equal Pay Act, things like this. It starts really, Betty Friedan publishes The Feminine Mystique in 1963. I don't know if you've ever read it.
No.
It's amazing when you think that this is a book which is basically challenging everything that was accepted at that point in terms of what men do and what women do, and how insidious it is that patriarchy has enabled to carry on. And I remember as a kid, for example, women got paid less than men for doing the same jobs just because that's how it was. And Friedan challenges these assumptions. And, it's the kids you're caught up in it as well, Second wave feminism, eventually what happens is it starts to split off by ethnic minority groups, by different, because actually black women are saying to white women, actually, your struggle is not our struggle. Our struggle is slightly different. But certainly at this point in time, second wave feminism, and we see in the film consciousness raising groups happening across America, across the UK. Back in the days before mobile phones and social media, the way to get a message was to gather groups of people and spread the word that way. So this is very much where this film is situated in. And we see this feminism in action. Joanna says at one point she messed a bit with women's lib in New York. And she attempts to set up a consciousness raising among Stepford women, doesn't she?
She does, yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So you talk about first wave feminism and second wave feminism.
Yes.
Did the world wars have an effect on that? Did it regress it?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And during the First and Second World War, we see women going into the workplace in huge numbers. After each of those wars, the men come back and very forcibly reassert the gender roles. Yeah. Male as breadwinner, woman is housemaker, and the war absolutely does that. And so, and 1950s America particularly is when those roles are, and anybody who's not straight and doing that is frowned upon, persecuted.
That's what's typically known as the nuclear family, isn't it?
Yes, very much so. Very much
Which
so.
is kind of represented in this film as what Joanna comes to Stepford and sees this kind of nuclear family type, family writ large, doesn't it? The women stay at home, cook, keep the house clean for the hardworking men who come back, are subservient to them.
Completely subservient,
in terms of when they want to eat, when they want to have sex, and laud the men as on a higher social structure.
Yes,
men.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we get Joanna, a feminist. She meets Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby with an I, who's a woman.
Bobby with an yes.
So she leaves New York with her family, doesn't she?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, they say, it's alluded to, Walter, her husband, says he wants to take them out of the city because it's pretty crime-ridden, as New York in 1975 was.
Yes.
To a better life. Their money could buy them a better life in the country, bigger house.
Yeah.
So they arrive in Connecticut, don't they, which is very green everywhere, white picket fences,
absolutely.
Big, beautiful houses. The type of American houses we mean. When you see people going into a new house, it's fucking massive. Isn't it? With a kind of a lake at the end, meadows everywhere.
Yeah.
Really kind of picture postcard perfect town they're living in.
Yeah.
She's a little unsure about it. And when one woman asks her, what do you miss about the city? And she says, the noise.
Yeah.
She's a proper city girl, isn't she? She's an aspiring photographer. She wants to forge a career ahead as a photographer, which is something she's pretty focused on. She thinks she can do it all. She can have the career, she can look after the kids, look after the house as well, but it's very much kind of like an even split. I want to do all of this.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Joanna hooks up with Bobby.
Yeah.
Two very similar women. They feel like they're a fish out of water in this perfect world. Yeah. There's a great scene where they go to a party. They're wearing rebellious clothes, because the Stepford Wives, the robots, are always in frilly high necks down to the floor. Their bodies are only for their husband's consumption, no one else. Yes. And Bobby's got this amazing little crop top on. The fashions
in this. They really are. And there they meet, well, they've met prior to this, but then we get to see Carol in all her glory, which is one of the perfect housewives who lives in Stepford, played by Nanette Newman.
Yes.
As people know, she's an English actor who's actually married to the director of this film.
Yeah.
And once they cast Carol, just as a little side fact that I saw in a documentary I saw, originally the Stepford Wives were supposed to be kind of dressed, you know, like cinema usherettes, kind of accentuate their features. They're supposed to be dressed quite sexily.
Right.
But once they cast Nanette Newman, they realised that she couldn't be dressed that way just because style-wise it just didn't kind of read well.
Yes.
Hence why they put all the Stepford Wives in, as you said, kind of like long dresses, floppy summer hats.
Yes. Yeah.
But all immaculately dressed. So then we get to this party, as you're going to talk about, and the food is all laid out perfectly. It's like a film set, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a royal garden party.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, carry on.
And then Carol starts to glitch, doesn't she? I mean, it's such a great scene. Although this is a tragic film, there are elements of camp in it. And this is a really camp moment when Carol's just walking around going, I'll just die if I can't have this recipe. Off to the next person, you know. Husband ushers her off as quick as he can. Clearly something is going on.
Yeah. So this is the first time we see in this film, actually, it might not just be that, you know, you go out to this suburban town and this is how the women are. They're kind of like trad wife roles.
Very much.
But this is the first time we start to see there's something a little bit more going on here.
Yes.
It's as though Carol glitches.
Yes.
Hence why we've been glitching all the way through this.
But it was a joke. We're not really robots. Robots. Yeah.
Yeah. So then Carol kind of gets ushered away, doesn't she? And it's explained away. Carol explains it later to the women, Bobby and Joe, doesn't she? How does she explain?
Well, she just said she liked to drink. She was a lush. And that's interesting. That scene when she comes back, she apologises later. She comes to Joanna's house and Joanna and Bobby are there. And she apologises for her behaviour. And they're like, you don't need to apologise. You had a couple of drinks, you're fine. But she actually says, my husband made me come. You know, again, hinting at this level of subservience that she can't get away from. Yeah. But there are other women who they meet. Charmaine.
Yes.
Charmaine is a trophy wife of a TV executive.
Yes.
Has a tennis court in her garden, which will become important.
Very much kind of like a kind of another New Yorker, very much on kind of Bobby and Joe's wavelength, isn't she?
Yes.
She's not one of these trad wives, even though she's married into money.
Yes.
You know, she has her own career. She likes to do things that Bobby and Joe like to do, you know, drinking, smoking and all that kind of vibe.
Yeah. And what will happen to Charmaine, we'll find out. There are lots of instances of women supporting other women in this film in a very pro-feminist message. The psychiatrist Joanna eventually sees is really tries to be the sisterhood, help her out, you know, and say, look, get away from Stepford. I'll come and rescue you. We'll come and find somewhere for you. But
so what it transpires is that Joanna and Bobby start to kind of see that there's something not quite right about this town. At one point, Bobby says, I think it might be something in the water.
That's right.
Because there is an example of a town in Texas, they called it the Texas Tranquilizer, where the water was contaminated and it kind of made people do strange things. So they have the water tested, there's nothing wrong with the water. Slowly but surely, they just realise that this isn't right, especially with Charmaine, as you said. All of a sudden, over the one weekend, Charmaine turns into one of these tradwife women, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And her whole personality changes.
Yes, her husband's ripping out the tennis court because she says, well, actually, Ted didn't like playing tennis, so I've just had it removed. And they can't understand what's happening to Charmaine. Interesting, I thought that also touched on the kind of Valiant problem of America in the 1950s, because, you know, we talked about this suburbia, these gender roles heavily prescribed, and women were just losing their fucking minds in these houses, you know, keeping their houses. So Valiant becomes uppers, downers, become a huge problem for the white middle class in America in the 1950s and 1960s. Should we talk about Joanna a bit?
Yes, let's talk
our
about
heroine.
Joanna.
Because one of the things I really love about this film is she's got a past. She's got a sexual past, which is not, it's not used to shame her. When Walter, when they move into this house, Walter says, I'd like to christen every room. And he says, I'd like to make love in front of the fire. And she says, well, it's not the first time I'd have made love in front of a fire, you know, but it's fine. She's called clever by lots of other characters. She's told by the psychiatrist, she's obviously a very bright woman. At the end, the supervillain, the diabolical mastermind behind it all says, you were cleverer than most of them.
Yes.
She's a photographer. She cuts a deal with the guy who wants to record her voice. He says, okay, she says, I'll do it as long as you let me have this group of women and see if we can have a consciousness raising, which makes the tragedy of what happens to her. It's just, and I hadn't really picked up on the fact that in the last 20 minutes, she says she knows her time is coming. When she realises what's happening to these women, I mean, Bobby as well is robotised.
Yes, Bob. So they're all, one by one, the women are robotised.
Yeah.
Basically, throughout the film, and we'll talk about the men in a little while, the men are taking sketches of the women. They're recording their voices for a supposed social experiment things. And what they're doing in this house is making a robot version of these women and killing the real women. All these women are like robots in Disneyland.
Yeah. Because it said earlier on, isn't it, that the guy used to work at Disneyland, isn't he? So he's obviously in charge of those animatronics, that really basic animatronics they had at the time. And she says, to that psychiatrist, she says her replica won't take pictures like she did. It won't be her. And I was like, oh my God, it's so tragic.
Yeah. And all the while you're rooting for her,
and you think she's going to get out of it. You genuinely do.
Yeah. So can we just talk about the men?
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
That's important for our gazers who haven't seen the film.
Yeah.
So Walter obviously is Joanna's husband.
Yeah.
Pretty soon after they arrive in Stepford, he is invited to join the men's brotherhood, the men's association. And then we slowly but surely meet the members of the men's association, which are just basically all the husbands of Stepford. And the leader is a guy called Diz, named after he used to work at Disneyland, as you said. A real kind of sinister figure.
Yeah.
And towards the end, it turns out that Diz is the mastermind of these robotic women.
Yeah. And the men's association is basically patriarchy and what it does to women, removes them of their identity, makes them subservient. Walter is fucking useless, isn't he?
Really
There's a great bit when she's looking after Bobby's kids, when she doesn't realise, actually, this is the weekend Bobby's taken away to get robotised. And he says, what am I supposed to do? A typical bloke. She says, well, I amuse them 7 days a week, do something. He accuses her of being crazy.
Yes.
You need to see a psychiatrist.
Your house is untidy.
That's it, yeah. He says, when are things going to start sparkling around here? My kids look like they belong on welfare. In one sentence, denigrating her as a wife, a mother, and a homemaker.
So all the kind of reasons that he fell in love with her in the first place, supposedly, is that she's a free-spirited woman.
Yes.
And he loves that the house is a little bit of a mess with the kids are kind of a little bit feral, but they're allowed to be because they live in the countryside. Stuff.
Yeah.
These are all the things that he likes about her. And then all of a sudden, over the course of the movie, he's indoctrinated by this male patriarchal system to want his wife to be subservient at his beck and call.
Yeah. He says he should spend less time with that camera. And he's not comfortable with it, is he? Because in the final act, he has to get pissed.
Yeah.
In order for them to be able to take her away.
Yeah, he's conflicted. Diz and the boys come round to the house and Joanna welcomes them with open arms because this is at the start of the movie. And Diz arrives as well. Diz is watching her making tea. And she turns to him and he says to her, I like to watch a woman do domestic chores.
Yeah, there we go.
So there it is.
There it is. Yeah. And then she's frozen out of their conversation, isn't she? So they have this conversation talking around her. They invite her to join them, but she's never allowed to speak.
No.
Again,
the ulterior motive there is that they want to take a sketch of her.
Yes.
There's a kind of a prolific artist that she's heard of.
Yeah.
And he's sketching her all the way through this scene, and ultimately it becomes because that's what they're going to use to replicate her looks.
And again, how many women have been silenced by men or have been put in that situation? And especially at this time, it must have really resonated with a lot of women. Yeah, and Joanna actually says, you wouldn't have given these guys the time of day back in Manhattan. So she knows something is going on, but she's still at this point unable to work out what it is. They're just creepy fuckers, aren't they?
Really creepy.
And look at the way what they do to their women. So Carol, for example, always in an apron. One of the first things she says, I know how much fun moving is. You're like, really, Carol? Are you mad? They're made sexually submissive. There's that great scene where they're going around knocking on doors.
Bobby and Joe.
To try and get women involved. But at this point, all the women are going, but no, I've got the perfect house. I don't need to have anything else.
Yeah.
And they go to the pharmacist's house and they hear the pharmacist, Frank, making love to his robot wife. And she's going, "You're the best. You're amazing.
Yeah, she says,
You're the master.
You're the king.
Yeah.
You're the champ. You're the master." And then we see the pharmacist, and he's like this kind of like weedy little guy. But that's what they're programming their women to do.
All to flatter their ego, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I thought it was really telling at one point when Jo meets Bobby, her good friend. Bobby mentions Tampax, bringing it out of a handbag. Oh,
Yeah.
to carry a Tampax with me. And I thought that was a really clever way of saying this is a woman who menstruates.
Yes.
As opposed to these robotic women. So I just thought that was really interesting because obviously when these women become robots, their reproductive rights are obviously controlled.
Yes.
Well, they can't have kids.
Yeah. And also, even the very mention of Tampax is kind of a bit confrontational because even today, there's still this weird thing about menstrual products and advertising and being talked about. You know, you're only allowed to have blue liquid in tampon adverts.
Yes.
You know, it's this kind of weird reticence to just bring them into the open.
Yeah, just
you know,
sweep it under the carpet. We know it happens, but we don't need to see it.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. And they eventually get this group of women together with this consciousness raising. And so we get Charmaine, we get Bobby, Joanna talking about, you know, maybe my husband doesn't love me. And then the Stepford Wives are only interested in baking, like products for cleaning, only interested in homemaking.
Yeah.
You know, and the three of them are just like, what the fucking hell is going on?
Yeah. Bobby says to Jo at one point, maybe we're the crazy ones.
Yes.
You know, so there's that doubt there. It's like, is this what we're supposed to be like as women?
Yeah.
But they know fundamentally that's not true. And
Yes.
these women are all, by all intents and purposes, crazy.
Yes.
But they're not crazy. They're just robots. They're not real women.
Yes. And Stepford, we find out, was not always like this. Because there's an old lady character who writes the kind of journal of the town. She talks about how excited she is because there's a black family moving in. Because Stepford at this point is very white. And you think this is going to be a classic white-only film. And it is to a certain extent. And then she says Stepford was really liberal. And they're like, are you nuts?
Yeah.
You know, because their experience has only been this trad wife and trad husband roles. And then it transpires Stepford used to be very liberal before the scientists and the computer company started to move in.
I thought it was a really clever touch at the end because at the final scene is in the supermarket. We see all the Stepford Wives kind of saying hello to each other, all very polite.
How are you, Bella?
How are you? How are you?
I'm
And then
very
we
well,
see
thank
the
you.
robot version of Jo. She's finally been turned, so we know that the real Jo has been murdered.
Yes.
And they walk past in one of the aisles this black couple, and who it's being said are the new black family moving into the area, and the black lady's arguing with her husband, saying, "I want to get out of here. I want to get out of here." So it's very cyclical. It's going to happen again.
To her. It's going to happen to her. She's clearly urban. Come from a big city as well. You know, as her husband has, and he's just and you think, there we go. There's the next victim.
There we go. Yeah.
There's the next victim.
Yeah.
And then the film leans quite heavily into the horror in the last act.
Yeah.
Joanna is on a mission to, her kids have gone somewhere. Walter has attacked her at home and she finds out that Bobby's been turned.
Yes.
So she goes to Bobby's house. Walter's just attacked her. Bobby's in the fridge. It's one of the most heartbreaking scenes. Ever
Because we
committed to
love
film.
Bobby
is so
she
good.
wasn't the original actor cast for that, but
Was she
there was
not?
another actor who kind of came and filmed a couple of weeks,
Right.
And they quickly realised that she wasn't the right actor for very good actor, but not the right actor for the role. And then they cast this lady. I can't remember her name now.
I can't either, but she's
the lady
fucking
who plays
great.
Bobby.
Yeah.
And she's just great, and you just can't help but you fall in love with her straight away. So it just makes it all the more tragic that when you see and when Joanna sees her best friend has been turned.
Yeah, so she comes into the kitchen. Bobby's in the fridge. Yeah. And she's literally been fridged, to use a modern term. And then she stands up and she's got Bobby, who used to wear these fucking amazing dungaree hot pantsuits, the little crop top. She's now got the neck to toe floral dress on, apron. And Joanna realises they've got Bobby as well, and she's on her own. And at that point, it just goes tits up, doesn't it?
And Jo says, "Look, cut me, I bleed." And she cuts her finger and sees blood. And then she stabs Bobby in the stomach.
Yeah.
And Bobby doesn't even flinch.
No.
Pulls it
the
out,
knife
no
out,
blood.
But then starts to glitch.
It starts to glitch.
And you get that lovely 70s sci-fi noise, like computer noise that was used in the 70s. And she starts moving around, dropping things in the kitchen. But Joanna realised at this point she's fucked. She's already told the psychiatrist she knows her time is coming. She said to the psychiatrist, I just want to be remembered. And you know she's not going to be remembered now. And then we get a lot of kind of horror film tropes. Thunder and lightning, rainstorm, going to the men's association, this big gothic New England mansion. Yes. You know, the single woman at night time.
It turns into kind of haunted house movie.
Yes, it does. Kind of or women being stalked by a killer movie.
Yeah.
And she gets in there, she hears her kids, which turns out to be recordings of her kids.
She's been lured there.
Yes, and you can see Catherine Ross in that moment. You can see on her face, she knows it. She's defeated, she's done. And I still remember the first time I watched it, I remember thinking, she's going to get out of it. She's going to be okay. Because this is what happens in films. She's going to be okay. She's not going to be okay. So she meets Diz, who is revealed as the diabolical mastermind.
Yes.
And Diz says, you were cleverer than most of them. It's not going to do any good. There's a chase sequence, classic horror film chase sequence through this house, thunder, lightning. And then she goes into a room, which is her bedroom. And what was clever, I thought, is it's her bedroom set.
Yes.
And you can see the top of where the set ends, and they put it in this room. I thought it was a nice little meta touch. And then she comes face to face with her robot duplicate. Yes. And her robot duplicate's a bit different, isn't she?
Considerably larger breasts.
Considerably larger breasts.
As a request from the husband.
Yeah, she's got the makeup on. She's brushing her hair, you know, a Timotei advert in front of a mirror. She's got these horrible black eyes because they haven't quite finished her yet. And then I'd completely wiped from my mind that she then turns around and she's got like a pair of stockings and she basically kills Joanna.
So they get the duplicate. So the men don't even do the dirty work at the end of the day. They get the robots to do it instead.
No, it breaks my fucking heart. And then the stinger, again, wiped it from my memory. No matter how many times I've seen this film, is, as you said earlier, you go to the supermarket, there are the wives walking around. Hello, Bobby, how are you today? I'm very good, thank you. Moving on, and then you see Joanna, totally Stepfordized.
Yes.
And over the credits, Joanna and her Stepford wife, pictures of her, the last shot is the close-up of her with her sun hat on, just looking out of the window, blank expression. It's like, oh my God.
Well, that's kind of a bit of a reversal of expectation. It's a bit of a rug pull, isn't it, towards the end?
It is.
Do you know what this film reminded me of? Okay, calm down, darling. Are you all right? Are you all right?
I'm okay.
You're definitely not a robot. You've still got your emotions.
Thank you. I bleed if you cut me.
Oh my God. Just
what was it?
Hold it together for 5 more minutes.
What was it? What did it remind you of?
So, this story-wise and plot-wise, it was The Wicker Man.
Yes, absolutely.
So we start, it's a typical fish out of water story.
Yes.
Jo arrives in this strange town. She's the main protagonist. The Wicker Man, Edward Woodward, arrives in a strange town.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely they begin to unearth that something's not quite right. He's a policeman, she's not, but they're still uncovering things, and it slowly gets revealed. We meet this sinister patriarchal villain figure, Christopher Lee, in The Wicker Man.
Yeah.
Diz in this.
Yeah.
Edward Wood was not indoctrinated into it, and neither is she. They're still resistant to everything that's going on around them till the very end. And they've both got that same rug pull at the end. Where you think, oh, Edward Woodward's going to escape, isn't he? Because he's the hero.
Yeah.
Joanna's going to escape because she's the hero.
Yeah.
And they both die at the end. So, I mean, it was just very similar storytelling style.
At a good point. Well made.
Just like thought of it all by myself. It's all in there somewhere.
It is. It's horrible, heartbreaking. And, you know, as an allegory for what happens to women and what happened to women then, you know, I mean, it's really on the nose. Ira Levin, the author, said although he wasn't overtly feminist, he was very much riffing on it and was supportive of women, you know. And the same happens to Rosemary and Rosemary's Baby.
Yes.
You know, you think she's going to survive, but she's subsumed by what's happened, you know. She's given birth to the child of Satan in this case, but in the end, she looks after the baby as opposed to winning and getting away.
I suppose in this case, because there was a lot of kind of, you know, the feminist reaction to this was fairly negative in the sense that Joanna didn't escape in the end and the woman wasn't the victor. But it's a stronger statement to say, well, no, she died in the end. Because sadly, that's what the struggle for women goes on and on and on. It never ends. You know? So is that a better way of saying, wake up everybody kind of vibe?
Yeah.
But you can see why some people thought this was pro-men and anti-feminist, and some people thought it was a real proper feminist statement. It's quite polarising, isn't it?
Yes. Although now it's often class as a feminist horror movie.
Right.
So I think over time and being able to situate it in the mid-70s and looking at kind of second wave feminism, we can see that actually as an allegory of what happens to women and how patriarchy and what the idealized form of womanhood is and who's doing the idealizing. I think it speaks volumes.
Right.
And
it was great.
Try to say it's fucking great.
Yeah, it's such a good film. It's had too long, in my opinion.
Tad
Done
too
with,
long.
like a quarter of an hour taken off it, but that's
Yeah.
my only criticism.
Yeah.
Really.
I mean, I haven't got much else to say. I've got a few other tiny little points. Did you notice at the beginning, I think we talked about this, that Joanna's photographing a shop window dummy on the streets of another one. I have a little hint of what's coming,
it's
isn't
really,
it?
It's really interesting. So, you watch films the first time and it's just all new and it's all unfolding and stuff. And then you watch it for the second time and you can see all these little Easter eggs, these little signposting. Yeah. It makes it a whole different experience to watch it. It makes it a whole different story where you're kind of in on it when you watch it for the second time.
Yeah. And it makes the tragedy of it even worse because you know what's coming. Yeah. The fashions, obviously, we talked about them. But I mean, I love a flare. And like we know in that Charlie's Angels episode, but those three girls in the prison flares, Catherine Ross and Bobby, they just rock a pair of flares. They really do. I was a bit worried that we were going to have a dead dog.
Oh, yes, that's what I wanted to mention.
Yes.
The dead dog.
Yes.
Oh, shit. And that would have been a whole different movie if that dog
it would have been.
survived.
But the dog survives.
Yes, the dog survives everybody.
The dog survives in order so that they kidnap the dog and let the dog bond with the robot, Joanna, basically.
Of course, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, they've got the dog in this mock-up of Joanna's bedroom.
That's right.
Yeah. A little bit problematic, her just taking pictures of random kids and then trying to hawk the photos to an art gallery in New York.
Yeah.
Which I thought was quite funny.
Simpler times, well, it wasn't if you look at the British charts. Gary Glitter Band and all that kind of. Yeah, a little bit problematic to take pictures of people's kiddies without permission.
Yes, yeah. I did ask myself, I wonder how many men watching this film today would love Stepford.
Oh, God, totally.
Yeah.
Doesn't answer back.
Doesn't have any opinions, just wants to do what the man wants to do.
Irons the creases in your trousers for you.
Look at the trad wife movement. Yeah. This is women doing it to themselves, never mind the fucking men doing it to them.
Especially since the rise of the Andrew Tates incel kind of thing. It would be a lot easier for them, wouldn't they, if women just complied and did everything they asked
absolutely.
to do.
And on that basis, I think this film's even more relevant today than it was back in 1975.
True.
When really the struggle is real at the moment and women's rights, reproductive rights are under threat and a certain type of male voice is dominating and it's like... God,
hence why our gazers should watch this film. We'll post a link, even though we've told you everything that happens, but it's worth it. Yeah. Okay, so how would you rate this film?
For me, it's a 10 pneumatic boobs out of 10.
Oh.
It rarely happens.
Yeah.
It rarely happens. And even though it's a bit long, I will forgive it for that because I just get swept up in it every time. Every time I think this time it's going to be different.
Glitching. Yeah. Yes. I would give it 9 floppy sun hats out of 10.
Very good.
Think, because it was fantastic. It was such a really good film. It was a tad too long for me. That's the only reason why I didn't give it a 10.
Yeah.
But I loved it. It was great. Okay, so let's put the Stepford Wives to bed, if that's not a poor choice of words.
Yeah.
Are you okay, darling?
As long as they're in a silky negligee for the husband.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, let's put them to bed.
Mm-hmm. So what we're going to be looking at next week?
Next week, we're back to Blighty, everybody. Back to Blighty for a deep dive into a much loved, adored...
A national institution.
Classic sitcom. Mm-hmm. Put a pony in your wallet, Dave.
Aye.
Yes, because we're looking at Only Fools and Horses.
Del Boy,
Rodders,
Rodney, Cassandra, Raquel,
all of
Uncle
it.
Albert,
All
Grandad.
Trigger. Boise.
Yeah.
Boise.
Dave.
Yes, so look forward to that.
Yes,
I
think next week is going to be more of a... Obviously, we'll highlight the problematic elements of Only Fools and Horses, but we do know that it is a national institution, and I personally can't speak for Dr. Lee, but I do love it. It's part of my childhood, so we're not going to be completely decimating it at all. It's going to be more of a little kind of like celebration, acknowledgement of Only Fools and Horses, the episode we're going to watch.
And we're going back to 1989.
Yes.
The end of the 80s.
But do be warned, we will be highlighting some of the problematic elements of the film, because I think even the staunchest supporter and admirer of Only Fools and Horses can see that it has dated slightly.
Yeah, there's quite a few shocking elements if you watch some of the first episodes these days. But anyway, we will hold that.
Absolutely. That's till next week, isn't it?
Next week, yes, exactly.
Yeah. So in the meantime, please do follow us on our socials, TikTok and Instagram at Podcast Gaze, Gaze. And if you want to email us, we are at theproblematicgaze@gmail.com.
Indeed.
What else?
TikTok.
Yes.
Instagram.
Said that.
Done that. Oh, you know where to find us.
Yeah, you know where to find us. Please do leave a comment. We're on YouTube, obviously, as well. Leave comments wherever you consume us, so to speak.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm off to see Carol because I'll just die if I can't get this recipe. What are you doing, Dave?
What did I say I was going to be doing? I've forgotten.
You're going to get your sketch done, will you?
Oh, yeah. Sweaty top lip this time. I always forget what I was going to do. I'm going to go to New York and sell some of the iPhone pictures.
Of your dogs.
Yes. Of my dogs.
Yes. So until next time, gazers. Oh,
Reservoir.
Reservoir.
He's gone. We've lost him. Till next week. Right, you can stop now.
Oh, I don't.
Stop.